I think it's fair to say that life is sometimes a question of balance. Not just balance, but maintaining the right kind of balance. In this modern world, we often have a lot of things that we've got to juggle. Kids at school, shopping, work, all those kind of things. And sometimes we have to rearrange them a little bit. But all of it requires concentration and focus. Sometimes, however, we seem to get overconfident and put too much on our plates. And it's not surprising that things tend to go out of kilter. And when we put too much on our plate, quite often it leads us into a flat spin. So what do? Well, I like to think of it this way. Imagine this is the world and this is your mind. Now, you're placed in the world and you start off in the morning in a pretty good spot, but pretty soon you go to work and you're in traffic and the taxi driver annoys you and you really disturbs your state of mind, so you drink a cup of coffee or you smoke another cigarette so that you can maintain some form of equilibrium. Then you get to work and your boss gives you hassle and man, you lose the plot. And so on and so forth. Now, what's happening here is that you're merely reacting to the world. As you roll this way, you counteract and everything's not quite in a state of equilibrium. Imagine we had something like this, where you can say, that is a calm and controlled mind. Stable mindset. And obviously the idea would be to stay within that circle. So, when the taxi driver comes, yes, he annoys you, but he doesn't knock you right off kilter. You bring yourself back to the center. And this is the sort of state of mind that we try to maintain equilibrium. And how do we do that? Well, the very first step, of course, is awareness. Not concentration and focus, but awareness. Imagine you walking down the street and all of a sudden you walk past a fence and there's a huge dog and the dog goes "Ruff!" and he freaks you out. But pretty soon you calm down and you come back to the center because you realize that the dog's behind the fence. It may be a completely lethal dog that will eat your arm, but he's behind the fence. So what do? You don't invest in that fear that knocks you off. Because he's behind the fence, you have this barrier, this awareness that, well, you can now look at the dog, and the dog can't really do anything to you. So you can taunt him if you like. But what you did there was that you disinvested in your fear. You may have been startled and got a fright, but you disinvested. You did not get into the anger. You didn't get into the fear. You didn't get into the envy. You didn't get into the greed. You remained as an observer of yourself. This is your mind. And your mind will do whatever your mind wants to do, good or bad, left or right, doesn't really matter. Your mind's going to float around, and you can live your whole life floating around and losing your marbles and falling off the plot, or you can decide to become an observer and find that part, that center within yourself that gives you strength and power. And that's the message for today.